Hello everybody. Today we are going to take one more class of division Bryophyta, and this class is known as Anthoceratopsida or hornworts. The name comes from the fact that in these plants the sporophytes are just like the horns. Here you can see they assume the shape of horns. They are very long and appear in the form of horns, and that's why this class is known as hornworts. And this specific class of bryophytes, it is a very small group represented by 300 species, and they are distributed widely in both temperate and tropical regions of the world. Now, some important distinguishing features of this class. The gametophyte is flat, dorsiventral, lobed, and thalloid. Okay, that means in these plants, the thalloid gametophyte is it is lobed, flat, and dorsiventral. Right in the image, you can see this is the gametophyte of Anthoceros, and in this gametophyte, you can easily distinguish two surfaces: the upper surface, which is dorsal surface, and the surface which is attached to the soil, that is known as ventral surface. Okay, and this thallus is also lobed and it is flat. Okay, now the second important feature of this class is the ventral surface of the thallus is attached to the soil with the help of some rhizoids, and these rhizoids are smooth walled and unicellular. This is a distinguishing feature of this class, because in case of hepatic opsida we have seen the rhizoids are both smooth walled and tuberculate. Tuberculate rhizoids means those rhizoids in which peg like ingrowths are present. Here you can easily see these are the peg like ingrowths here. These are absent in case of Anthoceratopsida. And one more feature is the scales are absent. In case of hepatic opsida, you have seen that there are multicellular scales, but these scales are entirely absent in Anthoceratopsida. And one more distinguishing feature of this class is the thallus has not been differentiated. It is not distinguished into separate zones or regions, unlike in case of hepatic opsida, where we have seen the thallus is differentiated into lower storage region and the upper photosynthetic region. But the same is not the case with Anthoceratopsida. Here the thallus is uniform throughout. You can see the thallus is uniform throughout, and there are as such no photosynthetic zones and no storage zones. The thallus is uniform. Okay, and one more feature of these Anthoceratopsidas is the individual cells, they contain a single chloroplast, and this is also the distinguishing feature of this class, because we have seen in hepatic opsida there are many chloroplasts within each cell, and these chloroplasts lack pyrenoids. But here in case of Anthoceratopsida, the individual cells are having a single chloroplast, and this chloroplast is having a pyronoid. Okay, and one more feature of these Anthoceratopsidas is that although air pores and air chambers are absent, but here you can see there are some intercellular mucilage cavities. There are some mucilage cavities, and these cavities open to the ventral surface with the help of slime pores. Okay? Although air pores and air chambers are absent in case of Anthoceratopsida, these air pores and air chambers, they are present in hepatic opsida. याद रखना बेटा. But in case of these Anthoceratopsidas, the thallus contains intercellular mucilage cavities, and these intercellular mucilage cavities, they open to the ventral surface with the help of slime pores. Now, something about their sex organs. The sex organs in case of Anthoceratopsida, they are embedded in the thallus. And if you are going to see the antheridia in Anthoceratopsidas, the antheridia are of endogenous origin. That means they arise from the subepidermal cells. For example, you are having the dorsal epidermis, and below the epidermis a cell functions as the initial for antheridia. Okay, And these Antheridia are born either singly or in groups in closed chambers. This is the distinguishing feature of this group. Okay, you can see right in the image, the Antheridia are present in groups or they are present singly within cavities which are known as antheridial cavities. You have to remember this fact. Antheridia are, they are embedded in the thallus. They are having endogenous origin, that means the Antheridia arise from the subepidermal cell, and they are born singly or in groups in closed cavities. Okay, and same is the case with Archegonia. The Archegonia are embedded in the thallus. Here you can see they are embedded in the thallus, and the Archegonia, they are having here the neck canal cells. Okay, here the neck canal cells, and these neck canal cells are covered by neck cells. Okay, these are covered by neck cells, and right in the venter you are having a venter canal cell and an egg. This is same for all bryophytes. Okay, simply stated, you have to remember that in Anthoceratopsida, the sex organs are embedded in the thallus. Okay, and the very distinguishing feature of this group is that Antheridia are present in either singly or in groups within closed cavities. Now something about their sporophyte. In case of Anthoceratopsida, the sporophyte is differentiated into three regions, and one very important feature is that in case of Anthoceratopsida, you are both having foot. Okay, you are both having foot, then the seta is meristematic. This is very much important. The seta is meristematic. Okay, and you are having a capsule, and this capsule is long and cylindrical. Here you can see the part which is embedded in the thallus is foot. Then you are having a meristematic seta, and because of this meristematic seta which continuously divides, the thallus, the sporophyte grows high, it goes long, इसकी length increase हो जाती है because of this meristematic region. Okay, and you are having a capsule, and this capsule is long and cylindrical. Okay, and one more feature which distinguishes this group from the rest groups is that the capsule wall is 4 to 6 layered. In case of Hepaticopsida, the capsule wall is single layered. You have to remember this fact. In case of Hepaticopsida, the wall of the capsule is single layered, but in case of Anthoceratopsida, the capsule wall is 4 to 6 layered. Okay? Okay. And one more distinguishing feature of this group is that you are having a central sterile tissue which is known as columella, and this columella tissue is absent in case of Hepaticopsida. Okay, and one more feature that you will remember about this group is in case of Anthoceratopsida, you are having elaters, but these elaters are known as pseudo-elaters because these elaters, they do not contain thickening bands. Okay, elaters are actually the structures which help in the dispersal of the spores, which help in the dehiscence of the capsule. And in case of Hepaticopsida, the elaters are true elaters because they help in the dehiscence and dispersal of spores. But in case of Anthoceratopsidis, the elaters are known as pseudo-elaters because they do not possess the thickening bands which help elaters in dispersal and dehiscence of capsules. Okay, these are some distinguishing features of this class. I